This automation is called One Place. For this automation, anytime a file is uploaded on any number of different cloud-based systems, we are going to transfer that file into one single repository. This is helpful for the teams that use a lot of different storage systems like Box or Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive with Microsoft. If you have a team like that, but you as the operations specialist in your business need to have one place to store all those files so nothing gets lost. Let's say someone leaves the team and you don't have the files that you need because they were on some other system. That'd be a problem, right? So with this automation, we are going to take files uploaded to Box and or Dropbox. We're going to have all those files come into one place into Google Drive. That's where we've determined as an automation agent as the one place we want everything to be housed. So in Box or Dropbox, if I was the automation agent, I would go to the people using either or and make sure that they understood that if they did a certain action, that's going to send the files to the company in the Google Drive folders that we specify. And so we work with those people to determine the right triggers. And once we do that and have everything set up, each time someone uploads a file, we're going to have it saved and have access to it. So we're going to go into Zapier, and I have a folder here called One Place. That's where we're going to be. Now I'm just going to use Box and Dropbox for this example. And for this automation, it actually is going to take a bunch of different Zaps pulled together. We're going to use an awesome feature called Search or Create. That way we can double check to see if a file has already been created in our Google Drive account. If it has, okay, don't do anything. But if it hasn't been created yet, go ahead and upload it. That's sort of the logic behind it. So all of these are very similar, but they're based off of three major buckets that we have: marketing, operations, and sales. If you did have a bunch of customers or clients, those also would be included here, and you would be able to create an automation to set that up. So if we go into Box and we look at what that might look like, if I was an employee who really loved using Box, then I would have these three files set up: operations, marketing, and sales, automate to Drive. So that way I know any file I put there, it's going to send it to our company's Drive account, and so everyone could have access to it. The same sort of goes for Dropbox. It's set up in a very similar way. And when they're sent to Drive, they're going to go into folders that we have in Drive that are very similar: marketing, operations, and sales. So to set this up, it's fairly simple to do, but I did want to show you that Search or Create feature, which I think is especially handy. We'll start with the Box Marketing Zap. The trigger is when a new file is uploaded into Box. So there's a few options you can do here. We're going to do the new file, click Continue. We are set up with the right account. Now, the folder that we're checking for new files is the marketing folder. Now, if you don't see the marketing folder or the folder you want, it actually drills down when you do this sort of search for the files. So if you start with sort of all files, it'll give you all the options here, and then you continue to drill down after each click. That's as far down as we go in the Box infrastructure. So the marketing folder is where we want it, and we are set to go. The second option is when it is uploaded and shared, what do we want the share options to be? You can have it be when it's open to the public, when it is just for the company in Box, or just the collaborators on the account. We're going to click Open so there's no restrictions on the file, and we'll click Continue. So this is where it's going to try to find a sample. We're going to go ahead and just skip this step. We'll do the test in a bit. But we need to then set up an action based off of that trigger, and that action is going to be in Google Drive. When we get in there, then we're going to do a search. We're going to search for a specific file by name. If we don't see that file, we are going to go ahead and create it. So that way, anytime we upload a file, we can't make duplicates. That's really the point here. If there's one onboarding checklist, we don't want multiple people uploading it in and making small changes. We want that to be consolidated. So the first step in creating the file or doing the search is to take the file from our trigger step, which is new file, and select the name. Right now we don't have any samples or sample data, so we're just going to stick with the name here. Now we have our personal Google Drive set up, but most likely if you were to use Google Drive, you probably have a team drive set up. This is where you would select it. You choose the folder. We have marketing set up. Awesome. Now, if the file doesn't exist, this is where you would check this box. Create the file if it doesn't exist. If we do the search, we don't find the file, then we do want to go ahead and upload the file. Now, this is where you actually select file from the drop-down menu here. That will take the actual file and upload it into Drive. We don't want to upload just the name, because that's going to send to Google Drive as just a text and not contain all the other information for the file. So make sure you click File there. Then once you have that, you are done with the first Zap. What you have to do is create a Zap for each of the different folders that you want to automate. So you can see here there's one for operations and sales, and then also all three marketing, operation, and sales for Dropbox as well. So let's look at how this works. We're going to do a quick test.